So, sorry it's been so long since the last video. It's been raining, as you all know. It's been rain every day, I think, for the last 2 months. Just depressing. And the last few weeks I've been flat out busy shooting for one of my clients who's doing a big, they're doing a large TV ad. I've been working on that project. Last week it was sort of 5 a.m. starts and 7 p.m. finishes. So it was full on all week and enjoyable. It's great. We got a lot done and it's great fun. But yeah, quite intense. So today is Saturday the 14th. It's Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's Day, and I think. It's the first dry day we've had for literally for months. And so I just sort of pop out, have a look around, and I just sort of travelled up to remote areas. I thought we'd come to, this is Bannau Brycheiniog, Brecon Beacons in South Wales, in Powys, and fantastic, austere and amazing landscape, quite dramatic. And basically, this here is Maen Llia. It's a standing stone, a Neolithic standing stone, and sits just in the middle of literally nowhere. And it's quite magnificent, really. But it's the surrounding. So basically, today I've been driving around and. Shooting on the Canon EOS 50E, and which I'm really enjoying, as I said before. And I'm shooting some FP4 today, which I'll develop in ID11, usual ID11, and just get some general shots to see what we get. I've missed doing these, and I want to get back onto doing them and find some more locations and some more interesting things to shoot. What we'll do now is we'll have a little wander around here, see where I get, see what shots we get on the FP4, and scan them and print some, and I'll see you back in the studio. Hope the dead sheep didn't make you too squeamish, sorry. But it was there, and got to document these things. It's all part of the rich tapestry of countryside. I think so getting back into doing this again after a month of absence, and but it's raining again today, so yesterday was the only dry day. But I really enjoy doing it, and it's always interesting exploring and trying to find new things and ideas, and hopefully places where you might find interesting. And my journey was on a bit of a meander, so I started off sort of more towards the coast, and that's where I captured the sheep and that tractor, which was sort of embedded in that bush, and that was interesting. And then as I moved inland towards our final destination, which is Maen Llia, I think then the sort of landscape slightly changed, and that was quite interesting. But I think one of the things I want to maybe just quickly chat about today is, as you know, I've discovered the Canon system and the EF system, and obviously we're on RF now, so it's a completely different bodies, completely different lenses. But what I've discovered, so here is the EOS 5 DSR, which I acquired with 174,000 shutter actuations, and it's performing beautifully. This works really well. And I bought the 24-105 f4 L mount lens for it, and then I found the it was the other way around. I got this first, the EOS 50E, and then a few weeks ago I picked up this 17-40 f4 L mount, the EF L series lens. So it's a complete, so 17-40, 24-105. So you cover all the focal lengths you could want, and the lenses are so sharp. Point is, under £1,000 for all this kit, and because the lenses are interchangeable, you've got the 35mm and you've got the high DSR. And I've used the 5 DSR and the lenses for jobs as well since I've had them, because sometimes the Sony is on another shot, and I just need to quickly get something else. You can be up and running with literally state of the art. I know it's 10 years old, but image-wise, it's fantastic. There's no difference between this camera and my Sony A7R5 in terms of image quality. The A7R5 does things functionally slightly better, but and it's got the pixel shifting, which is very useful. And the pixel shifting on the A7R5 literally takes the Sony to phase 1 IQ 150 level. Because pixel shifting has always been brilliant. I remember having it on my Leaf Cantari XY, and that was only a 6 megapixel chip, but you would be able to pixel shift it, and the quality of the file was immaculate. And as soon as you pixel shift, it's a game changer. This setup has been amazing, and so you could literally you could get then maybe a couple of Elinchrom heads, flash heads with this, a decent tripod. You're off to the races. You can do some really beautiful work for very little money and earn money, and nobody would question the quality of certainly the Canon EOS 5 DSR. And then the ability to pick up these bodies so cheaply and produce the 35mm, and then have the lenses work on both systems, which is wonderful, and be able to get this. And obviously you can do it in Nikon as well, because you've got Nikon F mounts, so you could do it on Nikon DSLRs and Nikon 35mm film bodies. But this was shot using the EOS 50E and the 17-40, and all the shots in the slideshow you saw were with this setup. On the Canon 1740, and it's an absolute delight to use. And I think my message from today's episode is that if you want to make, if you want to take your photography and get clients and make money, then you can pick up secondhand kit, which will serve you fantastically well. Nobody will question the quality. You'll have the ability to tether to a laptop or whatever using Capture One, tether tools, or any of the other cables, and get fantastic results. So, and if anybody has any questions on that, please do leave the questions in the comments below, because I'm happy to help and advise anybody if they're thinking of trying to make a living, especially youngsters coming into the market, because it's incredibly hard for people. And I think you get faced with all this high, this kit which is costing, you could set yourself up, tens of thousands of pounds to set yourself up, whereas you could actually just go into the second-hand market and immediately get fantastic kit for very little money, and you'd be making a profit, and that's what it's all about. But the thing is, I think you want to be able to. Now you can acquire stuff fairly cheaply and make some cash. So I hope you enjoyed this brief episode. I think that was my message today. It was actually to quickly discuss the Canon system and how affordable it is now secondhand, and how you can get into the market with that. And then yeah, I enjoyed today. It was fun. It was a bit cold. It wasn't that cold. It was about 0 degrees in the mountains there, and but spectacular place to be. Really enjoy it. It's really fun. So yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. It won't be so long. I'm so sorry I've been out of action for the last month, but yeah, I intend to get back into it and to start producing again. So in the meantime, until the next episode, you take care, and we'll catch up soon. Cheerio.